Hi, hello. Welcome to Thrive Wellbeing. So I'm next to the lovely Ray, and then I'm Ellie. And what we're going to do today for you is to demonstrate how we get into our tremoring or TRE. So what is TRE? TRE stands for trauma, tension and stress release. So it's an amazing technique that is completely life-changing. So essentially, it regulates your parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system. So releasing the trauma out of the body, but not only, like helping as well with any tension, muscular tension, physical tension. So yeah, absolutely great technique, completely natural. Every single animals in the wild do tremor. So it is something that we have suppressed because we've been told not to be weak and to always stay strong. And tremoring can be portrayed as a sign of weakness into society. So it is actually completely natural. It is normal for the body to release every time we've got some tension. And the tension, so everybody had trauma. So I don't care what people say, everybody is to a different level, but everybody is traumatized. Just someone beeping to you on the street is traumatizing, like for the body, it's a shock. And in society, the way society works as well, we've got the way we're not aligning with nature, we're rushing around all the time. This is this little incremental trauma that kind of stay with us. So what happens is when we're tremoring, we releasing deep muscle, deep inside. So that's called motility. So the muscle, deep muscle inside will pop. And as they pop, they release an emotion. So what's very important is to understand how we deal with those emotions as they come to the surface. So, as first of all, there is different way of tremoring. Everybody is unique. Everybody is different. So your tremoring experience is going to be unique to yourself. So you might have like some very vigorous movement, big movement. You might have just a very little electrical sensation into the body. You might start spasming. So everybody is different. More often than not, the tremor starts into the legs and then go over the body. It can go all over the body. So I have my face tremoring, I've got my eyeball tremoring, the cheek, the ears, the jaw, everything ended up tremoring. It took me about 4 or 5 years before even my face started tremoring. So it can be a long process, but everything ended up shaking. And again, everybody is different in how things release, depending on what happened to your life and how open as well you are. So just a little word before we demonstrate with a lovely Ray here, a little word about how to process the emotion as you release the emotion. So you might feel on cloud 9 the first few times you tremor, but then emotion will pop up and that needs to be dealt with. So you might still, depending on what happened to you, you might still, there might be an anger coming out or some real sadness. So whatever it is, allow it to be. Is really important to accept and feel in your body. So when you've got anger coming out, don't suppress it. If you suppress it, you put it back in the body. So really feel the sensation of the anger in your body. Detach your mind from it. You don't need to overanalyze. You don't need to think, oh, okay, that's what happened to me when I was 3 years old. The narrative actually doesn't matter. What creates stress for us is that narrative being attached to the emotion to be attached to the narrative. As soon as you remove the emotion from the narrative is just a story. Like if you watch a movie, it belongs to you, but it doesn't really belong to you. And it's really a real space of freedom. And that's what you want to reach. And when you feel those sensations into the body, you're basically giving yourself self-love. So a lot of psychology book talk about self-love. And I mean, I know personally, I wonder for a long time, okay, well, it's all good, but how do you love yourself? And it is basically accepting whatever is and really starting nurturing yourself and feeling those emotions and releasing them from the body. So that's one part of self-love. There is more I can say about it, but for the TRE, this is the purpose of it. So what we're going to do now, is I'm going with Ray. Ray's going to lie down on the mat, and then we're going to demonstrate how we go into the tremor. And then as Ray tremor, I will just explain to you a little bit more the frequency, so how often you should do the tremoring and so on, so you can start a daily practice or at home. So Ray, all yours. So yes, so if you lie down onto your back, so Ray is lying onto your back, so she's got her socks on, and that's okay. So just make sure you're cozy and warm, that you've got jumper if you need to. So this is really your time. So make sure you're not going to be undisturbed during this time. So you don't want to have anyone knocking at your door, or if they do, just ignore everybody. Ray's got the socks on, it's fine. I personally would recommend to take them off, just because it's good to have a good contact skin to skin, and on the mat with our feet or grounded, it just helps a little bit more with the grounding. So when you start, you always want to have the palm facing up. That's it. So that means that you're actually receiving the energy. We're receiving loads of energy through our hands. So always having your palm facing up. And then you're going to bring, Ray, your feet together, sole of the feet together, as close to your buttocks as possible. That's it. Completely relaxing your knee. And then you're going to bring your hips nice and high as you can. That's it. And try to relax the muscle, the muscle in your buttocks, sorry, as you do that. Completely opening your knee, that's it. And you see Ray is oscillating a little bit here. So you might have a oscillation from side to side, or a little bouncing up and down, and that's completely normal. It's the tremoring starting. And then you stay there for about 30 seconds. And then if you just then lower yourself down, that's it, just gently. And you're going to bring your feet forward. So keeping your feet together, bringing them forward until you reach my hands. That's it. That's good. And so that's depending, of course, on your size. But what you want to do here is to basically make sure that you've got a little bit of space just underneath your knee, so you do not block the energy from circulating into the legs. So here you're going to completely relax your knee. And we're going to do that again for about 30 seconds. So completely relaxing. Sorry, you've got a little thing here on your leg. So completely relaxing the knee. Yeah. Good. And then we're going to go into 3 stages. So it's going to be 2 minutes in each stage. I'm not especially going, for the purpose of this video, I'm not especially going to stay 2 minutes in each stage, but know that each stage will be 2 minutes now. So if you bring your knee just 1 or 2 inches together, so just bring them up. That's it. So staying there. And so Ray is going to stay here now for about 2 minutes. And you can see she's got a slight tremor starting. And so that's what you do at home, 2 minutes. So I would advise, so some people can tremor quite easily. Is again completely natural. Completely switch off the mind is very important. But I would advise to maybe tremor after doing some exercises, so you just already have a bit of tension in your muscle. Again, this is excellent if you are an athlete, just, to release any tension in the body after you're doing sports. So I used to do triathlon, and I know this tremoring was really a life-saving in terms of my body recovery after I was doing some kind of long distance running and cycling and so on. So once you stayed here for 2 minutes, we're going to go into the second stage. So again, just 1 or 2 inches, bringing your knee together. That's it, staying here. And we're staying in this position for another 2 minutes. So in terms of the frequency of the tremoring, every day is good. But But as a minimum, I would encourage you to do it every other day if you really want to feel a difference into the body. So it has to be done on a regular basis. So the really minimum is 3 times a week if you really want to feel the difference. Otherwise, you might not have the benefits that you want to have. But again, it is really life-changing. You will feel, within 2-3 weeks, you will feel more chilled. You might have like some injury disappearing in your body. I mean, I know it's transformed completely my life. And I've been tremoring for 9 or 10 years now, and I could not do without it. So bringing the knee for the third stage, another few centimeters, that's it. And then we're staying here again for 2 minutes. And you can see Ray's tremoring is now well engaged. So at the moment, the tremor is kind of a mid-tremor between an electrical current and a big kind of frying fish in a pan type of thing. And so, yes, so it's getting engaged. So you can see it goes up in the stomach as well, but it's still very concentrated on the legs now, which is completely fine. The body is very wise and intelligent. So don't try to bypass what the body does. When the body is ready to move on, the body will move on. Sometimes if you stay for months in the same tremor, you can then reach out to a practitioner, TRE practitioner, and they can help you move the tremor with some manipulation of the body. But usually the tremor will move by itself when the body is ready. But yeah, you can really see like the stomach, like Ray's stomach is like kind of moving and releasing, and then the legs are nicely done. So Ray tremor is now well engaged. So when your tremor is well engaged, what you're going to do is you're going to flatten the sole of the feet onto the mat. And that's it. And then that's going to often increase the tremor. And it's going to really bring the tremor up the body. And it's much more comfortable for you as well to tremor into this position. So you can completely relax, let go of any kind of thought. You can actually go into a meditation. So you can combine your meditation with your tremoring. Because I know that, we do try to fit a lot into a day, even so. I would encourage everybody to slow down. But yeah, and you want to tremor for about 20 minutes. It's not necessary to tremor for more than 20 minutes. 20 minutes is a good amount. What is very important when we get into our tremoring is to know how we self-regulate ourselves. So before we go to self-regulation, when you start tremoring, if you feel that your tremor stops when you flatten the sole of the feet, which can happen when you are a beginner and you do that for the first time, then just put your feet back together and play with the opening and closing of the knee until the tremor starts again. And you see, once your body becomes comfortable and realize, okay, that's very natural, and then can tremor quite nicely again, you'll be able to flatten the sole of the feet and the tremor will actually increase as you do so. The tremor goes in waves also, so don't worry if sometimes it stops a little bit, it will start again. So make sure that you've got a really nice deep breath, so inhaling through your nose. Always try to breathe through the nose. If you feel you've got a bit of energy, coming in, a good exhale through the mouth, that's release the excess of energy. So if we do that, Ray, nice inhale through the nose, that's it, big exhale through the mouth. And if you do that 2 more times, inhale through your nose. Well done. So that just already helped with the regulation of the body. Just like nice deep breath. And you can see that now Ray's hands have started tremoring as well. So her arm now are engaged in the tremoring. And then you want to know how to self-regulate. So when we go into a tremor, especially if we had loads of trauma, sometimes we feel dissociated. So dissociation means that basically your soul is kind of out of the body. You're not really with it. And it's really important for your soul to be in the body. So many people walk around and they don't really know who they are, what's going on, and they're completely dissociated with their body. When your soul is really well and your energy is really well into the body, it's really difficult to become ill, to have any disease. Your energy, the vibration that you emit out of you means that people are not going to kind of come and give you trouble. Really it's a massive shift of energy, and people need to remember, like often, especially when you go into a spiritual journey, people look up to the heaven, and it's really important that it's as important to be rooted and grounded into a body than it is to looking up, to the light. So to self-regulate yourself, if you feel that it becomes too much, but you haven't finished your session and you want to tremor a little bit more, you can just take a little break. So to stop the tremor, you're going to straighten the leg. So Ray, if you straighten the leg for us, thank you. And then as you see, as the leg gets straightened, the tremor stops. Remember, you've been controlling this tremoring all of your life. That's natural to do when you haven't been tremoring. So you can stop it if you want. You're always in control. If the tremor is really rigorous, sometimes your bum might still keep tremoring as you straighten your legs. So you just then roll onto your right side. And by rolling onto your right side, it will completely stop. Okay, and now, Ray, if you put your feet back exactly where they were before you stop, that's it, and just take a deep breath. Good. And you see, the tremor gets re-engaged. So you can take a break, bring your feet back up, and the tremor gets re-engaged straight away. So you're not losing anything by taking a little break. If anything, Ray's tremoring is more vigorous now, so she's gaining from taking that little pause and that little break. Right, so just for the purpose not to make this video too long, we're going to bring the tremor to an end, but just please do tremor for at least 20 minutes to half an hour. And then as we then stop the tremor, so Ray, if you again just straighten your leg, and after 20 to 30 minutes, we come into a final relaxation. So make sure that you do not rush this bit, because in a way, this is the most important part of the whole kind of tremoring session, is the integration. So allowing the body to integrate the releasing that we've been doing, the movement, the readjustment of the fascia, of the muscle, the release of the emotion. A lot's been happening. So it's really important to take at least 5 minutes just coming into a shavasana, into a relaxation pose, and just staying there, completely relaxing yourself for 5 minutes. And then after 5 minutes, just gently start moving your fingers, your toes. Give yourself a nice big stretch, arms above the head. Good. And then rolling onto your right side. And then bring your left shoulder slightly backwards. So if you keep that's it, and that helps decompressing the spine, because we've been lying down for 20 minutes, half an hour. So it's nice to decompress the spine. And then come back into sitting. And that's it. This is your tremoring session. And again, just a good practice. If you've got any question, you can always come and visit us here at Thrive, and we'll be more than happy to help you. And I do teach a neurogenic yoga class every Wednesday evening at 6 o'clock. So the neurogenic yoga, we mixed 45 minutes of yoga with half an hour of tremoring, which is actually brilliant. Is such a nice atmosphere to do that in a group and in the class, and I'll hold the space for you and help you if there is any issue. So yeah, thank you very much, Ray, for being my assistant in this video. Yeah, and thank you very much for watching.